As musicians, I know that we all want to see our stream numbers go up on Spotify, and I know that being placed in playlists can really help with that. But if you're paying a company to do your playlisting for you, you want to make sure you avoid these two things. Number one, you don't want to be placed in any public playlists or any playlists where the streams are coming from bot farms. And number two, you want to make sure that your music is placed in a playlist that's appropriate for your music and your genre. So right now, I'm going to show you some metrics you can look at in Spotify for Artists to assess the quality of your streams. The first thing you can do is visit the Music tab in Spotify for Artists and select a song that you know has been placed on a playlist. Number one, you can go right here to Playlists and you can see where it's been placed. What we really want to look at is your source of streams. If this percentage right here doesn't go up over time, the listener's own playlists and library, it means that nobody likes it in that playlist enough to like it or save it to another playlist to listen to later. So if this is going up over time, it's a good indicator that your streams are high quality. The next thing you can check is the location of the streams. I'm in the middle now. If you're getting an abundance of streams from one location over all of the other ones, that's a pretty good indicator that they might all be coming from like the same device or the same few devices, meaning they might be coming from a bot farm. So not good. And now if your numbers look like this, yeah, of course a lot of my numbers are from Houston. I'm from Houston. The next is 21. That's not that far off from 48, right? So these are pretty normal looking numbers. Now I'm over here on the right. The next thing you can look at is under audience and audience engagement. You can check your save rate. It's not a metric that Spotify gives you outright right here, but you can calculate it yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the number of saves for this period of time and divide it by the number of listeners. So I'll do 370 divided by 576. 64%, that's great. Google says that if you're dealing with 100,000 listeners or more, anything over 10% is a good save rate. I've also heard for independent artists like us, though, with smaller numbers, anything over 5% is good. You're good to go. Another number you can look at under your music tab are the number of views. So a view happens when somebody actively watches your Spotify canvas while they're listening to your song. It means that the screen is not locked. It's open, they're looking at the canvas, they're watching it. Because normally what will happen on bot farms is they will have one to, I don't know, 1 to maybe 10 devices, and they will put the song onto stream, they'll put it on loop, they'll plug headphones in, they'll turn the volume down a little bit, they're not actually listening, and they lock the phone. So if you have a decent amount of views compared to your listeners, that's good news. Another really important thing that you should be doing anyway is go into whatever song it is that was added to the playlist, click playlists, and go listen to the playlist that your song has been added to. If you already know what the playlist is that you were added to from like paying a company to do playlisting for you, go to the playlist. If you don't know where they added you to, you'll be able to find it in here. It'll probably be where the majority of your streams are coming from at that time. You'll notice when I hover over this, it's hyperlinked. So you can click this and it'll link you out to the playlist. Just put headphones in, listen to the playlist. Does your song make sense in there? Does your song stick out like a sore thumb? Spotify's algorithm can be helpful in recommending your music to potential new fans. But if you're placed on the wrong playlist, it's going to hurt you more than if nobody was listening to your music at all. Let me explain why. Sometimes when you pay a company to do playlisting for you, the only thing they have to fulfill for you is the fact that they get you on as many playlists as they promised they would. They don't have to fulfill any kind of promise around the value of that playlist. Now, if you're a synth pop artist and you get placed on a country music playlist, one of two things are going to happen. Number one, people in that playlist are going to skip your song because they didn't come here to listen to synth pop. They came here to listen to country hits 2023, right? Or best case scenario, they don't skip your song. And now Spotify thinks that it should algorithmically recommend your synth pop to people that like country music. Having Spotify understand who is actually going to be a potential fan of yours is really crucial. And once you mess up that data within your artist profile, it's almost impossible to reverse it. Now, if you have assessed that you think you're getting some low quality streams, I would recommend you try to get off of that playlist as soon as possible. And I would offer you this alternative. Make your own playlists. As artists, we all take influence and inspiration from somewhere. So make a playlist with all of your influences and inspiration for this song or for your album or what have you, and share that with your audience, share it with your friends, find communities where people are looking for new playlists, share it on your story, or maybe even run some paid advertising over to it. That's going to be a much higher quality of stream, and it also helps build a connection with your audience, which is never a bad thing. All right, stay shiny.